Two things, really. First of all, the photograph is once again not actually showing the children at all. We got fairly sort of exasperated, really, by seeing the backs of their heads or an arm or a leg or something. We never actually see them. I mean, I don't know what she's up to, but it's a kind of strange game to be playing. I mean, either you produce the children face on or don't produce them at all, in my view. I hope that's not harsh, but that's what I think. I suppose the argument is that she doesn't want people to recognize them if they're out and about, but you can't really do this sort of half and half thing. And she's always done that, right since the beginning, when she wouldn't tell us, when the child first Archie was being born, and then, she sort of like gave birth and then apparently seemed to subsequently go into labor as far as the timeline was concerned. It was all very strange. And then the other point that I would like to make is that I thought Mother's Day was a time when you celebrated your own mother, not celebrating yourself as a mother. Most people who are putting up posts today in America are showing pictures of their mothers and saying thank you to them. I mean, celebrating yourself as saying what a good mother I am, in a way, is not what it's all about. It's saying thank you to your mother. And a lot of people, of course, on a day like this in America, post pictures of their mothers who are no longer with us, so that you see them and they remember their mothers and all the things that they did for them. So that's really my main sort of gripe, I suppose, on this occasion. But I mean, it's to be expected, I suppose. We just get, as I say, the back of the heads once again looking out across some presumably nice view. Isn't it a little bit tedious, this? Can't we actually one day see the children, or should they be being used in this way in a way, to advertise that she is a good mother? I'm sure she is a good mother, but it just seems to me a bit rotten to do it like that. And these children are going to grow up at some point, and they're going to wonder why they didn't meet their grandfathers. They're going to wonder perhaps how they've been used in these images over the years. She posted the other day an interesting thing that apparently she has got some email addresses for them, and every now and again she records a little message, and she intends to give them these messages, all of them, when they're either 16 or 18, as a sort of, this is your life kind of charming idea in many ways. I don't know whether it could be quite long to plow through many, many years of school reports and, sort of sayings that they did and that sort of thing. But I suppose it's the modern version of the baby book or the album that some people put together for their children. I don't know. I wonder how they'll react to that, but that's up to them, and that's all in the future.
Meghan Markle is at it again, and this time even the royal experts have had enough. Hugo Vickers absolutely slams Meghan for her bizarre habit of posting ambiguous photos of Archie and Lilibet. You know the ones, just a back of the head, a random arm, or a leg sticking out. According to Vickers, it's like Meghan is trying to prove to the world that she's a good mom without actually showing her children. And let's be honest, it's not just strange, it's downright manipulative. If Meghan truly wanted privacy, why post them at all? Or if she wanted to celebrate them, why not just show their faces? It's a half-in, half-out game, and it's coming across as phony and desperate. Vickers nails it. Meghan is playing both sides, and it's starting to look like she's just using her kids as props in her PR game. And here's where it gets even more tone-deaf. On Mother's Day, most people post pictures to celebrate their own moms. But Meghan? She uses the occasion to celebrate herself as a mother. Vickers calls it narcissistic, and he's not wrong.
Well, it would be fair to say, but what are you saying at this point? What is it all about? Is it telling the world, that she thinks she is a good mother? I mean, that's not very attractive. I mean, I think it would have been much better had she been sending a message to her own mother and thanking her for what she did, assuming she wished to do so. I mean, we understand, as far as I can see, that at any rate now that their mother and daughter are quite close. I mean, Doria has appeared in one or two clips, with the filming of the cookery programs. I mean, she's in the background like Prince Harry, so she's around. So I think it would have been fair to have said, thank you to her own mother, but perhaps that's not what she wants to do. I just think it's strange to celebrate yourself, because in a way what she's doing is using the children. But, you could say, for example, well, like on Mother's Day over here, Catherine produced a really nice picture of of herself with her three children, but they were all looking towards us. We could see them. It was all very open, so that it was posed. And I mean, it's an odd point to make, but it was quite clear that all the three children knew that they were in a photograph being photographed specifically for a Mother's Day post. This one is like she's clutching the children from behind. They look, from what one can see, they look perfectly happy to be there, but then they're not exactly being photographed specifically for a Mother's Day post, as the way I see it. I don't know if I'm being too analytical about this, but to some extent that photograph's been taken and then popped up on social media to say, I am a good mother. Here I am with my children, even though you can't see what they look like, you can see that they're close to me. That's the point I'm trying to make, that it's like a little bit strange. What she should be doing, as I keep saying, is celebrating, thanking her own mother for whatever she did for her. That's what most people are doing today in America. I mean, there are dozens of these posts all over the place. What I do worry about with those children is that they will, they're growing up, and they will grow up, and children ask questions. They ask, why am I not seeing my cousins? Why haven't I? They don't seem to have any close relations with them of their own age. The only cousins they've got are all in England, and they don't see them. So they're being denied that. And, there comes a point when children get curious and they want to know more, especially if if you happen to find out that your first cousin is one day going to be the king of England. I mean, wouldn't that be quite interesting to get involved in that in some way? I mean, as far as I know, there's no contact with them at all. And that's because of the circumstances and the situation of them being out in California and having sort of, shoved off, basically. And you can't have everything. So it's very complicated. It's not going to be, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they'll all be perfectly happy, but I suspect that when those children grow up, they're going to find it's a bit confusing what's going on. And then if they then look back at posts and find themselves endless pictures of the backs of their heads being shown to the world, I mean, personally, I'd be rather annoyed. But I mean, again, I don't want to be sound churlish or disagreeable. I'm just trying to think it through in the long term, if I can put it like that.
And there it is. The ultimate self-preservation moves disguised as parental protection. Vickers warns that this strategy might work for now, but as Archie and Lilibet grow older and start asking questions, Meghan will lose control of the story. They'll want to know why they were kept away from their family, why they were used as PR props, and why their faces were hidden from the world. And when that happens, Meghan's carefully crafted good mom narrative might just implode. That's the real danger. Meghan is building a house of cards, and one day it's going to collapse, with her kids at the center. Alright, that's the explosive breakdown of Meghan Markle's desperate PR stunt to portray herself as a good mom, as exposed by Hugo Vickers. If you think Meghan is using her kids for sympathy, hit that like button, subscribe for more unfiltered royal drama, and drop a comment below. Is Meghan a master manipulator or just misunderstood? Let me know what you think.